Hello you guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Cheryl here at the Made on Sunday studio, and I talk all about branding, design, and creative entrepreneurship here. So if you are starting your own creative business or running your own creative business, then be sure to subscribe to follow along. All right, so if you haven't heard yet, I am all about experimentation in my business, and one of the things I really set out to experiment with this year was course creation. I've been teaching here on YouTube for about over 2 years now, and most of my videos are 15 to 20 minute long tutorials, but in terms of actually packaging everything up into a course, it was brand new to me. So May of this year, 2022, I actually started my teaching career on Skillshare as a course creator. And in May, I launched my first course called Canva Basics, Launch Your Creative Business. And about 2 months after that, I actually filmed an income update on here, YouTube, talking about my stats, what exactly happened in those first 2 months. It was a real roller coaster, and how much I made in those first 2 months. So if you haven't checked out that video yet, I'm gonna link it above as well as below of this video. So definitely go check out that video first and kind of get the grounds of like what happened in the first 2 months. In this video though, I really wanted to talk about what has happened since those 2 months. It's been 6 months in total now, so it's been basically half a year of teaching on Skillshare. I have 2 courses there officially now. And then I also wanted to talk about the new Skillshare revenue model, which changed basically like last month. I think it was like end of September. They launched this new Skillshare revenue model for teachers. And then I wanted to go into my back end. We're gonna head into my laptop and look at my stats and see what happened month to month and how much I made month to month. And then after that, I just wanted to talk about whether I think that it's still worth it to teach on Skillshare since this new revenue model, and whether it's something that I recommend doing and getting into in 2023. All right, so let's get started. All right, so just to give you a little bit of a background, I have been teaching there and been paid for 6 months now. I launched my first class in May, which is Canva Basics, Launch Your Creative Business, which teaches you all about how to design on Canva, and it's specifically for small business owners or entrepreneurs or freelancers who want to start their business but don't have branding or don't have marketing material and want to design their own marketing material and social media graphics themselves to launch their business. So provide lots of templates, and then you kind of go through the course learning the different steps of customizing these templates to your own brand so that you're ready to launch your business at the end. So definitely go check out that course if you are interested in starting your own business and want to learn how to design your own materials on Canva. I'm going to link it down below. And then a couple months after that, I launched my second class called Etsy Template Shop, Diversify Your Income with Canva Templates, which basically is a follow-up after Canva Basics. Let's say you learned your design skills on Canva, you can then start designing templates to sell on Etsy. And that's what that class kind of teaches you how to do, how you set up your shop. And by the end of it, you would have launched your Etsy shop selling Canva templates. So again, I'm also going to link that down below if you want to check out that class. But so far, I have 2 classes, those 2 on Skillshare right now. And honestly, I've been really enjoying the process of teaching on Skillshare. I've talked about this before, but the Skillshare community is extremely positive. A lot of students give most reviews that students give are usually 5 out of 5 star. People are very, very generous and positive about their reviews. Those who post their projects, there is actually a designated space within Skillshare for students to post their projects, and it is actually mandatory for every class to include some sort of class project, which increases the engagement of the class, which I actually really enjoy and love that aspect. When students post their projects, I feel just so I don't know, accomplished and happy and just thankful that people are so engaged that they would actually carve out time to do the projects and then share them. It's incredibly like just rewarding to see that after you've put in so many hours and time into creating these courses. And then in general, the Skillshare admin is also very, very lovely people. I actually do know a few of them now, like one-on-one, because I have been invited into the Teach Corps program, which is a smaller group of invited teachers, of about a couple hundred teachers. It's basically a Slack community where it is by invite. I'm not exactly sure why they chose me or invited me to be part of Teach Corps. They never really explained that, but they basically just say like, we see a lot of potential in you, so we'd like to invite you into Teach Corps. And in order to stay, I need to teach a class every 6 months and just make sure that I engage with my Skillshare teacher coach, I guess, every time I launch a class. And I actually really love that aspect because the coach that I was paired with, she's extremely nice. If I wanted to schedule time with her, she's always open her schedule for me. If I have any questions, she actually checks over my classes every time I am getting ready to post the class. And so that really gives me peace of mind that I am following the Skillshare regulations, because I have actually heard a lot of teachers getting their classes pulled after launching for reasons they may not understand or for reasons that was never told. And so having somebody to actually check my work before my class goes live, it actually gives me a lot of peace of mind. So I do actually really enjoy that. And being part of Teach Corps also gives me access to all of these webinars. I'm not exactly sure if all teachers get access to these webinars, but I definitely get emails through Teach Corps telling me about these monthly webinars that Skillshare, the Skillshare admin like hosts. They're usually topics around like marketing your classes or best practices for, creating your videos or whatever it might be, which are all extremely helpful as a new teacher. So overall impression, I've really enjoyed the last 6 months, and I just really hope that this can continue for a long time. I do have to note that there have been changes in the last month and a half-ish. I think at the beginning of September or mid-September, there was an announcement saying that there is a new teacher revenue model. And so this has really impacted the whole Skillshare community. You've probably seen a couple videos about this, about other teachers talking about this. And especially me being part of the Slack group, I actually get access to the conversations that are being had with some of the top teachers within Skillshare. And I've definitely heard a lot of complaints about this new revenue model. So I thought I would talk about it really quickly right now if you were curious. So basically, before October of 2022, Skillshare had a revenue model that was a share model. So I can't exactly remember the exact percentage, but from what I remember, because it's not on their website anymore, from what I remember, a certain percentage of Skillshare's membership revenue every month is then shared with the teachers. So I think it's around 60%, but don't quote me on that. But let's just say it's 60% of all of Skillshare's revenue is then shared with the teachers every month. So that amount changes depending on how much they made that month through student memberships that they've received. And so that 60%, let's say, is then shared between all of the teachers within the platform, depending on how many minutes were watched on your channel. So there was that part. And then also the second part of your revenue is you get 60% of the referrals. So if you refer a student with your referral code, then 60% of their membership that they pay will go directly to you. So those are the two different ways that you can get paid on Skillshare. But in October of this year, 2022, Skillshare decided to move on to a new revenue model called the teacher fund model, I believe. And so how this works, I believe, is that in the beginning of every month, Skillshare will then announce what the teacher fund is. They don't exactly explain where this number comes from or how this number will change month to month. We've only seen this happen twice now for October and November. And I think it was like the last month was like $1.1 million. So they didn't really specify exactly how this number is different from the previous money amount that was shared between the teacher community. So we really have no idea how this exactly affects the pay that is distributed amongst all of the teachers, and they don't really specify if this amount will change over time. And so we've only seen examples of 2 months so far, and it's about, just over $1 million. But a lot of the concerns within the teacher community is that, every month there are new teachers and every month there are new classes. And if this pool of money continues to be the same amount every month, then teachers will get less and less pay every month because it is split between more and more courses and more teachers that are joining the platform every month. So that is really a true concern because in October, we got our first pay. I should say the October numbers were first paid in mid-November. So everyone got paid in mid-November, and we finally realized how it would affect our pay. So in November when we got paid, the consensus is most teachers are getting paid less than 50% of what they were paid previously. So we're gonna head into my stats in just a second, and we're gonna see what the difference is on my pay. I can't speak for all the other teachers, but I've just been hearing like lots of noise within the Slack community and on YouTube as well of other teachers seeing their income being slashed in half or maybe even less than half. And so, yeah, that is kind of what's happening right now. We have no idea how this is going to continue within the next couple of months because right now, October, November, and December are kind of like transition months for Skillshare teachers. So Skillshare is offering a lot of different perks and benefits to kind of combat, I guess, the acknowledgement that your revenue, your minutes watch paid is going to be less than previous. So things that they are doing to combat is increasing the referral amount that you get. So right now in October, November, December, I believe, instead of a 60% cut, you get 90% cut. So if you head to my trial down below and you pay for a membership, then instead of 60%, I get 90% of that cut. And so that really does help a lot, which you will see again in my stats in a little bit. And if you're part of the Teacher Corps program, they are doing a teacher equipment fund. So they did give us about $100 per teacher to pay for any kind of video recording equipment. And I heard that some teachers are even getting some bonuses this month, which I did not receive. So I'm not really sure where that bonus is coming from. And there's a couple of other things, perks that Skillshare is doing to kind of try to combat this transition time per se. And so we'll see what happens in the future. But for now, why don't we head into my laptop and see my stats and how this news has actually affected some of my income in the last 6 months. All right, let's go. Welcome to my laptop. We are now on my Skillshare teacher stats page. And so far I've been on here for just over 6 months and on to the 7th month. It's actually November 29th right now, which means that my November earnings that you see here is actually going to be quite accurate. I mean, there's only 2 more days left in the month, so this might go up to like 350 or something like that. But I think for November, I'm going to be making approximately this much, a little bit more maybe. I have reached my 1,000 students this last week. So I have a total of 1,074 students so far, and over 48,000 minutes watched and 24 reviews for the 2 classes that I've posted. So I am so thankful for this, and I just can't believe it. Honestly, it just blows my mind how much this platform has grown for me in the last 6 months already. The grand total that I've earned so far is $4,403, which is just nuts. But we're going to go over that month by month right now to kind of see how that was generated in the last 6 months. So this is right now in the days view. So this month so far, things have been quite like rocky, up and down, but I'm just gonna look at the month view just so you can see more of an overview of what's been happening. So in June, I had a really like good month. I guess that is actually my launch month. So I launched my first class in mid-May. And so June was really when the class really picked up because it was a featured class in June. So definitely go back to the previous 2-month review video to kind of see what happened there. And then as summer rolled in and the feature was gone, my July and August stats were like going back to normal, I guess. I mean, who knew what normal was? Was my first time doing this, so I really had no idea. So my normal seemed to be about 4,600, like 4,500 views or minutes watched on a normal month. And then in September, I actually launched my second class, Etsy template shop, and that is when I saw like a jump again. Even though my course wasn't featured this time, there are minutes watched from 2 classes, and so this launch went really well. Again, I did the same marketing launch plan for this class that I launched, which included like an email funnel, included a landing page. I marketed on my Instagram as well as on my YouTube channel, and so there was a lot of work in the back end put behind this launch. So I'm really glad that it did turn out to be like a winner, like it really worked. And I actually continue to see that work for the next month. So even though I launched my course in September, October numbers were nearly the same, just a little bit less. And so I was really happy to see that. This month though, in November, things have dropped a little bit, not all the way to the 4,000 mark, but it's definitely gone down a tiny bit. So we're going to see what happens in the next couple months as this second class kind of starts settling. And then I guess this stats right here really shows like how many students were, join my classes every month, but I don't think that number is really that interesting to you. But finally, this last part really breaks out how much I've been making in the last 6 months. So in the first month, with just pretty much half the month, I think I was on Skillshare for about 2 weeks, I already got paid $280, which is honestly a surprise. Like I really didn't imagine my classes to start paying out that quickly, especially being on YouTube. As you know, I think it took me 1.5 years before I actually got paid a single dollar on YouTube, even though I was posting way more than I was on Skillshare. So I kind of just like got used to that kind of experience where you have to put in a lot of upfront work before you get paid on any kind of passive income channel. But that wasn't the case with Skillshare. I actually got paid pretty quickly, so that was great. In June, my total earned was, it nearly jumped to almost 1,000, with referrals being about 168. So this was still in the old model up until Up until September, it's still within the old revenue model. And so you can kind of see my income fluctuate a little bit. As you saw, July and August numbers were a little bit lower. So I kind of, obviously the kind of minutes paid number was lower as well. Some months I had some good referrals going and some months not so much. But in September, when I launched that second class, my numbers were actually like, this was impressive. So with about, in September, with about 9,400 minutes watched, I got paid $668 for the minutes watched there. So that was like my first month where I was like, oh my gosh, like this could be some real revenue. Like, honestly, my ultimate goal with Skillshare is to be able to make $1,000 like every month, like regularly, and that would have been my dream on Skillshare. So to be able to make like 600 in just the minutes watched that month with just 2 courses out, I was like super impressed. And then on top of that, I also made a couple of referrals and made $300 there with a total of like nearly $1,000 on Skillshare. So I like almost made my like revenue goal, I guess, with Skillshare. And I was so excited about that. So yeah, in the next month, as the numbers were going up, I was really excited to see that, you know, my minutes watched were almost nearly the same. But I started to notice these projected estimated revenue numbers to be a lot lower than, you know, previous months. And so what I found out was that's when they changed over to this teacher fund. And as you can see, even though both September and October months were nearly the same amount of minutes, it was almost half the pay. So that was pretty upsetting when I saw this happen, especially since I just launched my class in September. So I was really hoping to ride that wave of a launch to be paid around, you know, those higher numbers in those first few launch months. But unfortunately, with this new teacher model, it's nearly 50% of the previous pay, which was very upsetting. Luckily, I made a lot of referrals in October, and I think these referrals actually came from my September launch. So I'm assuming that, you know, from my marketing launch plan in September, I think I referred a lot of people into the program to try like a free trial. And then probably on October is when they decided to, you know, upgrade into the full membership. And so in October, I actually got 90% cut of referrals as well. So not only was there more people that I referred, but I also got a higher cut, like a 90% cut of the referral pay. So that actually totaled up to into $1,338. And so I was just like in shock, honestly. When I found out my referrals were nearly $1,000, I like almost had a heart attack from how happy I was from these results. So I mean, yeah, so I don't know how things are going to work out in the next couple of months. Having this little transition plan of Skillshare to up your referral pay, also with these bonuses and benefits, the pay does seem, I mean, the total pay is higher than before. So it's really hard for me to tell how things will turn out in the next couple of months, because while my minutes watch paid is half of before, my total amount is still more than last month. So that's why I'm kind of struggling to be upset, I guess, about the new Skillshare teacher fund right now. If referrals weren't as high every month, then I'm sure I would be pretty upset with $370 only. So we'll see how the next couple of months go. One thing I did forget to mention about this new teacher fund pay is not only are they going to calculate the minutes watched, they are also going to calculate the quality of the membership. So if you are on a free trial, then those minutes will probably give you less money. If you're on a full trial, then they might pay you more. So it's kind of hard to tell, exactly how that will be paid out every month, because you don't know which students, which type of memberships are watching your classes. And the other thing is they kind of talked about the importance of engagement. So apparently this money, this teacher fund will also reward you for more engagement. So projects, reviews, discussions within the class, whether it's from you or from your students, the more engagement, the more you would get paid as well. So all very unquantifiable kind of variables, I feel like, that I'm not really sure how accurate that's going to be paid out and how they would actually calculate that quantitatively to pay you out fairly. So all things that I still have a lot of questions about, but they're still trying to figure it out themselves on their end. And so that's why I'm still kind of hopeful to see how that will play out, because I too want to increase the engagement on my classes. I would love to see more reviews and I would love to see more projects. So we'll see. We'll see if this actually works to increase engagement on their platform. And yeah. So in total, I've made just over $4,000 so far. My goal is to make $5,000 by the end of this year. So there's still 2 pays in November and December to reach that goal. So if you want to support my channel, please check out one of my classes. There's 2 of them. I'm going to link both of them below. And I would be so grateful if you just take some time to take my class for free. You can join the free trial down below, and you can take both of my classes for absolutely no money. All right, so I guess that's it. So if you were to ask me if, I see myself continuing creating courses on Skillshare and continuing teaching on Skillshare in the next couple of months and into 2023, I would say yes. I still am very hopeful for this platform, and for me, I am going to continue to create for this platform in the time being, just to see how things might level out in the next couple of months. It is quite upsetting to see some of those stats. It is a little bit discouraging, I will say that, but I have trust in the platform, and I believe that they really do have the teachers' interests in mind and want to nurture that good relationship with their teacher community. So hopefully they find a way to really figure out that engagement piece on the platform. And I'm really hoping that will kind of level out over time. But do I recommend hopping onto Skillshare as a new teacher right now and into 2023? I do. I still really do recommend it. And I think it's a great platform to get your feet wet and start creating courses. I really don't think it's very difficult for someone who's brand new to course creation to kind of step into this course creation world for the first time. I think uploading your course into a community that's already open to learning is such a great kind of stepping stone into creating your own self-hosted courses. So if you are really interested in course creation, want to just get your feet wet and start making money right away, I definitely would recommend giving Skillshare a try first and see how things go. If things go south and you really start not enjoying the platform, then Skillshare doesn't own your course, you do. So you can always either pull your course or self-publish your course later on and think about other avenues for your course creation journey. All right, so that is the end of this video here. I really hope that you guys enjoyed hearing about my journey so far, my 6-month update on my stats and my income so far. So I am so curious to learn where you are in your journey right now. Are you just like thinking about course creation, doing some research about Skillshare? Maybe you're a Skillshare learner and you're interested in maybe posting a course in the future. Or maybe you are already a Skillshare teacher and just curious what other people are making. Let me know where you are in your journey right now in the comments below, and I would love to connect with you. If you have any questions about, teaching on Skillshare or my stats or whatever it might be, also pop it in the comments below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to give it a like and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.